Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday night here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. Robbie Lastella aboard with you for this Wednesday edition of the Lastella Report. My co-hosts alongside me, as usual, that's Drew, Toby, and Christian. Guys, how's it going?
Doing well, Robbie. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. The thing was lagging a little bit. I wasn't ready for that intro.
Our new
I'm doing-
producer is really not stepping up.
Bro, come on now. No strays being caught here. I'm doing good, Robbie. We had a good night off, and we got a good show tonight, so I'm excited for it.
Doing well. I know all my boys here are doing well. Right now I'm going live off my balcony in Boca. Yeah, it's still light out, if you couldn't tell. But in New Jersey, still working. But wish I was back in the 561, but it's always a great night when you're on the Lastella Report.
Drew's got the vibes going tonight. I look out my window. You must be in a different part of Boca than me, but we'll let it slide. We're joined tonight in this back half by four-star receiver, ex-Miami commit, current free agent in that college world in a year from now, Waden Charles, joining us to talk with Christian on our South Florida Spotlight series. So we'll look forward to that in the back half. Also going on tonight, me and Toby will talk some college baseball for you. College World Series right around the corner. We're in the super regional round currently. A whole lot to go on to tonight. But big news broke yesterday while we were off the air, unfortunately. And it really pertains to every aspect of our show. We're a South Florida-based show. We focus on a lot of college athletes in the area, but as you've seen with our South Florida Spotlight series and our high school athlete extraordinaire, Christian Proscia, we dial into the South Florida high school scene, really, especially football, basketball. But yesterday, it was announced that in the state of Florida, NIL was approved for high school athletes. There's some parameters around it. No big collectives yet. We'll say yet on that. But no big collectives yet. It'll be outside businesses only able to partner with these players. Christian, do you want to explain a little bit more about this NIL to high schoolers?
Yeah, like Robbie said, this was some big news. Florida is now the 36th state to approve NIL for high school athletes. It's a lot different than the college game. The FHSA, their biggest point of emphasis was to control the chaos, unlike the NCAA, because we all know that the transfer portal plus NIL equals crazy times in college sports. They're looking to avoid that in Florida. Pretty much, your school, any form of school branding is not allowed to appear anywhere on the deal. Like Robbie said earlier, no NIL collectives for the schools. Pretty much, this is reducing the chance of tampering or recruiting. And athletes can hire agents for NIL related purposes only. All deals are negotiated though between the athlete's legal guardian and the brand. No school interference. Your school coaches and athletic departments cannot try to set athletes up with NIL deals. It is between mom, dad, legal guardian, whoever, and the business side of things. So it is to reduce the chances of tampering or recruiting while also still letting the athletes receive financial compensation. Do I believe that this is going to really affect a lot of people? I hope. But realistically speaking, the top 1% to 2% of athletes are going to be the ones that benefit the same way in the college game. You see athletes like Shador Sanders or Quinn Ewers, Travis Hunter, all those high-level guys. They're the ones racking in the big money from NIL as opposed to other local athletes are settling with a couple acai bowls in some local places, getting an acai bowl out of a pineapple. I would prefer the pineapple over the Lambo personally.
Christian, how long before you see something like this start to evolve and turn into something bigger than what it currently is? I mean, the NCAA it's evolved into something crazy over the past how long has NIL been legal? 3 years to the
Two
point
and a
now
half years.
where it's affecting all facets of college sports.
Honestly, over the past couple years, I've really dove into the ins and outs of NIL because for every shout out everybody that was in my public speaking class, they know that the overwhelming majority of my speeches last semester were on NIL and the effects that it has on college sports. So I'd just like to give a shout out to everybody that had to listen to the same speech, just revised a couple times. But yeah, I've really dove into this. This is something that it's trending and relevant in college and now high school sports, and it's something that I like to stay on top of. So personally, I think that eventually this will um grow and evolve into something a little crazier than what it is now, because right now what we have is what NIL was supposed to be: athletes partnering with local businesses. You remember a year and a half ago, FAU, when they started the Owl Collectives and the Paradise Collectives, they had football players partnering with local businesses, basketball players, beach volleyball, same thing. Like, that's what it was intended for, not to mix that with recruiting, where, like we spoke on the past couple days with, say, Florida, where it's here is a blank check. What will it take to get you to my school? And then guess what? My name's Billy Napier. I'm not paying you that money. But I think eventually it might blow out of proportions. However, I do believe that the FHSA, in the 36 hours of NIL being approved in Florida high school sports, they have already regulated it 110 times better than the NCAA has in 3 years.
I think that's important in terms of you don't want it to ruin high school football, right? Or basketball or baseball or anything really. But you mentioned on your video, or it might have been in the comment section, about how it'll affect the smaller sports, softball, swimming, whatever you want. Do you think that the NIL opportunities will be spread evenly? I mean, it's tough to say, but do you think that it'll really matter about the person rather than the stats they're putting up? Or do you think that all these businesses and really all the NIL partnerships are going to go to the 5 stars, the best players? Is it going to be top heavy?
Well, the thing is, it's going to be like college sports, where it's either the 5 stars or the Heisman hopefuls getting a lot of it, or it's going to be whoever has the bigger social media following. At the end of the day, if I'm running a business, I'm marketing myself with who is trending, who has the most outreach. So on two sides of the coin, you see, like I said earlier, the Travis Hunters, Quinn Ewers, Shador Sanders, who rack in a lot of money. And on the high school scene, I'll use Jeremiah Smith, who was the number one recruit in the country last year. He's now at Ohio State. He would have been benefiting heavily off of this immediately. The Boozer twins from down south in Miami for basketball, same thing. Both of them elite high school basketball players. They are going to rack in some serious cash from NIL and some serious brand deal opportunities. On the other side, you're going to have the guys that have large social media followings. Livy Dunn, biggest example. The Cavender twins, another great example. And whoever is TikTok famous and stuff like that, I try not to be on TikTok so much because for personal reasons. But whoever at the end of the day, who, like I said, if I'm a business owner, I am marketing with whoever is relevant, whoever is trending, and making my business as appealing as possible. I think that it is going to be 5 star relevant. And to bring up your point about secondary sports, I hate to say it, but this is probably going to be like college sports, where it's either a football player, an elite football player, an elite basketball player, or a very beautiful girl.
Yeah, I think with what I want to see at least is that there becomes opportunities for everybody. And I don't necessarily know if that will happen, but like you said, this is an opportunity for the businesses themselves. So if a business wants to stand out, go sponsor one of the softball players for the best softball team in Palm Beach County. Go do something that differs you from every other business in the county that's getting involved in high school sports. And the high school players themselves. This is a great opportunity to build themselves some early wealth, but it's also an opportunity to learn money management. So there's a lot of good opportunities that come out of this, but hopefully, as we've talked about, it stays regulated as it is right now. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how much some of these brand deals will be worth. Because these businesses really, if they're able to tap into a player before they even get to college, and let's say they blow up, it's huge for that business. So they may have to really give some money. It's kind of like signing a prospect of some sort, and you got to give the top prospects some serious money in whatever sport it is. So in the NIL world, I imagine it will be similar. So this is definitely something we'll follow here on the Lastella Report. Christian will follow as well on his social media. So make sure to stay tuned in with us, and we'll keep you updated. Anything changes with Florida NIL or any crazy stories that come out of it, we'll be on top of it. But
I'd
speaking of
also
crazy,
like to say, really quick before we switch gears,
yep,
for high school athletes that are looking to capitalize on NIL now, you guys have to be 110% more on top of your social medias, more than usual. Do not be posting anything stupid. Don't be commenting anything stupid. You are now a brand. You are now a brand more than what you were a week ago. Whether it's college recruiting, college coaches and college recruiters, they look through your social medias. Now, these businesses are too. If you're doing stupid stuff, you're taking money out of your pocket. Be on top of your social medias. Don't be addicted to social media, and know what you're posting. Have the right people in your corner, and make sure that what you are doing at all times is benefiting yourself, because at the end of the day, you are now a brand. This is your job. This is now more of a job than what it was, like I said, a couple weeks ago, when it was, I'm just trying to get scholarships and stuff like that. So that's something that I would just like to leave us on before we switch.
yeah, that's a very important point. It's changing not only for the schools themselves, but for these players, and they have to, in my opinion, like you got to keep your head on straight. You can't worry too much about those dollar signs and forget about the scholarships at the same time. So there's a lot to balance for these high school athletes as well as academics. So it's a crazy world that athletics has developed into. It's not just do your homework, go to practice anymore. It's do your homework, go to practice, and hit the photo shoot after, while also hopping on a Zoom call with Coach and occasionally Christian if you're tuned in with the right media people. So a ton to
Local
balance for these.
businesses, please pay your local photographer. I would love an NIL deal every now and again. Just want to say.
Christian, you don't get an NIL deal, man. You graduated and you done with high school. The swimming NIL deal Christian would have gotten probably would have been sweet though. He's a pretty decent swimmer back in the day.
I would have gotten $2, and that might have been from my grandma. Full honesty, I was good. I was not good enough to receive NIL.
I would have trusted my business dollars with Christian Proscia. I know he would have brought in some revenue to my business.
Christian, you got to gas yourself up more than you were. Weren't you committed to Montana or visiting Montana? Didn't you go up to all those schools up there?
I made a world tour when I was doing my college recruiting. Yeah. So I once again, I'm a great asset to have for a lot of these kids, because I understand the ins and outs of college recruiting too. But yeah, I did take the world tour. I got to go out to some great places, go out to schools in Wyoming, Utah, Cali, middle of Ohio, down with Ohio, all the way up to upstate New York. I was about 5 minutes from the Canadian border. My honestly, school might have been close to Toby's house.
Very close.
Yeah. So even though Christian said he wasn't the best swimmer, he still got this experience for you guys. Take his word on it. He swears now. But shifting gears here, we're talking college baseball with Toby. Super regional rounds are upon us. Tons of storylines from this weekend. Toby, I want to start with UConn taking down Oklahoma. Me and Drew's worst nightmare. UConn being a national powerhouse, not only in basketball, but now in baseball. Toby, how serious is UConn heading into the Super Regional versus FSU? Or they beat Oklahoma twice.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I mean, that Oklahoma team honestly was, in my opinion, fairly overrated. They struggled in that regional and they hosted. So I think, when you struggle with hosting a regional, that's, not necessarily the sign of a really good opposition, but UConn played great. So I can't, take anything away from them. There's a lot of unranked teams coming into this that are in the super regional now that are just hot right now. And UConn's exactly like one of those. But this FSU team's something like they've never seen before. They've got 2 consensus first round draft picks in their lineup in Cam Smith and James Tibbs. These guys are very good hitters. They excelled in the regional round. So I think this could be a 3-game series, but I think FSU's got it. I think that they're just such a good team this year. They handled Stetson and UCF really, really well. They beat UCF twice. That was a really good team. So this UConn team is going to be a challenge, but they haven't seen anything of the likes of a team like FSU coming out of the Big East. So, I mean, we'll see. But they're a great team. I don't want to take anything away from them. I don't know what you think about it, but yeah, I agree with you and Drew. I don't want them being a powerhouse in every sport. I think they had basketball. Give us baseball. Like, just anyone but UConn.
And I was going to say, don't even get me started if they're good in football. Like, if they become good in football, which, like, it isn't impossible. We've seen it. Teams come out of nowhere, but oh my, if they get good at football, it's over. It's over, man.
Shout out Paige Bukers, bro. We Loki, we might have to make that trip up to UConn. And
well, that's the goal, no?
we are making a trip up to UConn, man. You
There's
making these
nothing
plans up
low-key
here.
about it, Christian.
We're booking flights to stores, baby.
He'll be making his flight to BYU that weekend.
Hey, but the reason I like
soaking.
UConn interests me, Toby, because just like Florida, they were right on the bubble in terms of really making it. They went 15-17 in the non-con, and Florida had 27 losses coming in, and they both make it, and now they both roll through to the super regional. That's what I really like kind of about baseball is really if the talent's there and they can grind out a series, there's opportunities to do it. I mean, Florida was dead to rights. They were in that losers bracket. Did you find Oklahoma State as good as they were ranked, or was it kind of like Oklahoma to you?
No, Oklahoma State was a great team. I think UF just played a really good final game. If you watched, I don't know if you tuned into the first game that they played, but Cags looked horrible on the mound. They hit almost 4 home runs in 1 inning against him. They hit 4 home runs against him 3 in a row. One of them was called back due to fan interference. But I mean, UF I hate Cags on the mound. I wish they would just leave him at first and just let him hit. You put Luke Heyman behind the plate. I think that's the way to go for them. But I think Oklahoma State was just, one of those good teams that just fell to a team that played a better game than them in the wrong time. So, they have guys like Carson Bench, Brian Holiday played really, really well on the mound, especially in that Florida game where he threw almost 130 pitches. So for this Florida team, I mean, they're playing Clemson with a lot of good pitching. And if you put a pitcher up there who can go deep in the game, it's probably wraps for the Gators. But they made a good run. They had such a tough schedule this year that I kind of like that they made it this far. And now that I say that, they'll probably make the Super Region or probably make the College World Series again. So I don't know. What do you think about it, though?
I like Florida right now because they got hot, right? You talk about a guy like Cags. I mean, he hit that big home run and then they lose. And then when did he hit that big? I think it was in the first time they beat Oklahoma State. Cags hit that home run. They looked dead to rights of the second game. Then they come back and they beat him. Yep. So I think Florida's riding with momentum right now. Mm-hmm. It won't be the easiest matchup next round for them, but it's kind of like you were talking about with UConn, Oklahoma State, or UConn in their next matchup versus FSU. I can see that one going to 3 with Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see. Another team that piqued my interest, Evansville, obviously, taken down, coming out of the ECU regional, our AAC foe. You think Evansville's got a chance, Toby?
For sure, man. They're hot right now. That's essentially all you need if you're a baseball team, especially in the College World Series. We see teams make it that far that are like Evansville. Off the top of my head, Dallas Baptist, Oral Roberts, Michigan in, I believe, what was that, 2019 when they lost to Vanderbilt. But they're the Cinderella story, and they're running into the most solid team in the tournament. If depending how you look at it, Tennessee did everything. They did everything right. I mean, they took down that Northern Kentucky team that had a lot to prove, an Indiana team that was fresh off of their pitcher getting engaged after their opening round win, and a really good Sun Belt team in Southern Miss. So that's probably going to be a 3-game series. I'd be very surprised if Tennessee swept, honestly, despite the fact that they are the 1 seed. Evansville's got some dogs.
We shall see what unfolds in the Super Regional round. College World Series up next. We're going to take a quick break here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. When we come back, Christian Proscia's South Florida Spotlight with Waden Charles. We'll be right back.
Split 200, so like, budget, or no like, it's hold down. In the club, poppin' with my, pull that pop. Blood rockin' on them jiggers, on the money. You ain't talking money, I don't hear you. You ain't gotta touch my own. That's Thriller. Boy, I'm about my Thriller. All my monkeys, we gorillas. All my clutching, we some hitters. Birds on my timeline, call it Twitter. I'm in the club, bopping with my all rocking off them chicks. Money. You ain't talking money, I don't hear. What be quiet? You ain't gotta touch my own feet. That's Thriller. Boy, I'm about my Thriller. All my monkeys, we gorillas.
What's going on, everybody? We're back at the bottom of the hour. I'm joined here with nobody right now. Waden is experiencing some technical difficulties, but before we get this interview rolling, I just want to give him a quick introduction. I'm joined with consensus 4-star wide receiver from Palm Beach Central. He's a top 250 recruit in the country, Mr. Waden Charles. And right now we're dealing with some technical difficulties. I'm gonna shoot him we're gonna get him on the phone. 1 second, everybody. All right. I'm joined by Waden Charles now via the phone. We're having fun with the setup today. But Waden, how's it going, man? How you doing today?
It's going good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Is everybody able to hear him? Production staff, y'all able? Okay. Producer's saying it's good, so we're good. But yeah, I was giving you a quick introduction. You're obviously a very well-touted recruit throughout the country. You're a consensus 4-star by all the major outlets, and you're a top 250 recruit in the nation. Can you talk about how has, just as a whole, how has your recruiting process been? What is it like?
My recruiting process is definitely like a lot of ups and downs for me. A lot of stuff happened, but it's just a great experience to go through. You know what I'm saying? Humbling experience. You know what I'm saying? A great experience to build a relationship with college coaches. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Waden, you're a leader on a team with some of the best talents, not just in Palm Beach County, but also in South Florida. How do you and your offense and your elite defense elevate each other every day in practice in order to be great?
We just all got the same end goal. At the end of the day, we're all trying to get a state championship, you know what I'm saying? And we all work hard to get that every single day in practice, you know what I'm saying? We push each other hard on and off the field. We make sure everybody's good. We make sure that we're going 100% every single play, trying to get that guy across from us better. So that's really what we do to elevate each other.
And then, like I said, you have some of the best players in South Florida sharing the field with you on offense. How do you believe Palm Beach Central and their coaching staff has done such a great job of spreading the ball to so many elite weapons?
Yeah, our coaching staff, they do a great job. They just call the plays and we go out there and execute them, you know what I'm saying? And the thing that makes it so easy for them to call plays for us is just that we're all just not selfish. We all know that we can create plays for one another. We know that we're all elite enough to line up anywhere on the field and make a play for each other. So that's really what it is. Like, everybody on the offense, we're not selfish at all. We don't care who get the ball. Just know that whoever get the ball gonna make a play.
And your team has such a deep coaching staff. On offense, you have Coach Kevin Thompson leading the team. You also got Coach Jeff, Coach Godfrey, and so many other great coaches. How do they game plan to get the most out of Waden Charles every given Friday?
Just letting me know that because a lot of teams, they try to game plan for me to get me out of my game, to take me out of the game, and make sure I don't get the ball. So the way they just help get the most out of me is try to put me in different places, line me up in different spots so we can mess up the defense and so I can help my teammates get the ball as well. So that's really how they get the best out of me.
And then one of the biggest strengths for you is that you are a game-changing player. When you get hot, there is no stopping you. Can you talk about What makes you and your game so special?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just me being a dominant player, I just know that one day all of this can be taken away. Like football can be taken away like real easy. So I just know that every time I go out there, I got to dominate. Like I just love being out there on the field. Like it just brings a different type of joy to me. Like when I get out there on the field, I forget about everything else. My mind just goes blank, and I just go out there and have fun. So that helps me dominate and just be focused, stay focused.
You know, you've been a dominant figure, not just on the field with the pads on, but also on the 7-on-7 circuit and in camps. How do you manage translating your game to all aspects of recruiting?
Definitely, like all those aspects, 7-on-7 camps, they definitely like translate to the game because once you go to those 7-on-7 camps, you're going against high talent guys just as yourself. So it's just great work to help you get better as a player and see where you at with yourself, and that just helps with my game translate to the game because like if I'm press man against somebody in the camp, that's gonna help me try to work something I can do inside the game probably in the fall. So that stuff does help me like translate, and I just anywhere I go, whatever I compete in 7-on-7 camps, I just always know I gotta dominate. So yeah, that's it.
Following last season, you were named as New Era Prep's #1 player in Palm Beach County for the class of 2025. Wonder who did those rankings. But how do you plan to follow up a huge junior season into an even bit bigger and better senior year?
Yeah, coming into my junior season, you know what I'm saying, I came to a new school, just a new offense, new players all around. So you know what I'm saying, it was a little rocky, you know what I'm saying. I still made the most of my opportunity, you know what I'm saying? The opportunity that I got, I made most of it, you know what I'm saying? So I had an all right junior season, but I'm definitely trying to capitalize this year, my last year for my senior year, you know what I'm saying? Go out with a bang, capitalize on every opportunity given to me, make sure I dominate in every way possible and help my team win in every way possible. That's really it.
So now, like you said, you are a rising senior. This is your last year. You've now been playing varsity football for the past 5 years because you did play your 8th grade year at Somerset. How are you stepping into more of an older brother leadership figure for all of the younger talent on Palm Beach Central to help elevate the next generation?
Yeah, definitely.
What's up?
Like, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to be that big brother to the younger guys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody around me, because back when I was in 8th grade, I was with a lot of stuff on my plate, like to be a captain as an 8th grader. So ever since 8th grade, I've just been looking up to people, seeing them do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Asking questions, make sure I'm doing the right thing myself, being a young guy, being a captain early. So I know that was a lot of pressure that I had to handle. But it was okay for me to handle throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? I got better at being a leader. And I feel like now that I'm more mature in my senior year, I'm going to be the best leader I can be for my team. And I'm going to help anybody around me in any way possible.
Let's talk college recruiting now. Miami was your 5th offer. That one came in November 2022. And then you verbally committed to them in September of 2023. What stood out about the Canes during your recruiting process originally?
During the recruiting process, they were Miami. They was definitely recruiting me a lot, man. Like they was just constant love. They was hitting me up like almost every other day. I was coming to camps. I was coming on visits. They was treating me like one of them. It was just constant love. They were just treating me like a priority, and I just love that about them early on during the recruiting process.
And like I said, you've been a solid, quote, hard commit via the recruiting sites from Miami since September. But late last week, you announced that you were reopening your recruiting process and decommitting from Miami. What was the buildup like for that? How was the conversations with your high school coaching staff, with your mom, and just your support staff?
Yeah, I'm gonna just talk briefly on that. You know what I'm saying? Miami, just me making that decision. It was just I talked over it with my family. You know what I'm saying? We just came to the decision that was gonna be the best decision for me going on through this recruitment process. And yeah, that's basically it.
So now this upcoming weekend, over the next couple days, you and your teammate Kamari Williams, who is a Arkansas commit, are going on an official visit to Arkansas. What stands out about the Razorbacks to you?
Definitely the OC, Coach Petrino. He definitely pushes out a lot of NFL receiver talents. So that definitely caught my eye. And Arkansas, they have great facilities. They have great coaches on their staff. You know what I'm saying? They just have a lot of good stuff going on. And they're in the SEC too, like the best conference in college football. So it would just be a great experience to go check them boys out.
Following this weekend, you have an official visit lined up with UCF next weekend. What stands out about Coach Gus Malzahn and the Knights to you?
Yeah, definitely. Coach Malzahn, he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? He definitely has a pipeline to the NFL too. So just knowing that he pushes out the NFL talent is a great eye opener for me. And UCF, they just like throw the ball a lot to their receivers. The receivers make great plays. They just had like two of the best receivers in college football last year. They had a receiver go into the draft this year, Javon Baker, like arguably the best receiver in college football last year. You know what I'm saying? He had like the most yards in the country, you know what I'm saying? So I know that if I do go into UCF, I'll play a big role in the office because they like to throw the ball, they like to make plays with the outside receiver, you know what I'm saying? And that just come out.
And then, so after speaking with you a little recently, you were telling me that you are looking to take another official visit in the third week of June. However, you're still not sure on where you want to go. What are some suitor schools that have been piquing your interest that you would like to take a visit to possibly? He's thinking, everybody. 'Cause he's got 40 offers, so he's got 37 other schools that could possibly be hitting him. Oh, what? My phone just dropped. Hang on. Everybody peep the dog in the background. We're really balling on a budget today.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right. Robbie, Drew, Toby, y'all want to hop back on really quick? Oh, hang on. Waden's calling me. Hello?
Yo.
You there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Like you never left. Were you able to hear the last question that I asked?
Yeah, you was asking about like what I would consider taking physics too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely some schools that we're trying to set up those visits with. It's probably Louisville, Florida, Florida State, Pittsburgh. I've been in contact with those schools trying to see what visits we could probably set up.
So now that your recruiting process is wide open, what are the biggest attributes and traits you are looking for in a school, a program, and a coaching staff?
Definitely a school where I can just go in and have an opportunity to be able to make an instant impact as a freshman, you know what I'm saying? A place where I'm going to be able to get developed by the best coaching staff. A place where I can have a great life after football, get a great degree, education. A place where I'll be able to bring my family. You know what I'm saying? A place where it's just going to be good for me to live for the next 3 or 4 years. That's it. That's really what I'm looking for in school.
So now I'm going to ask you a question that's kind of geared towards the underclassmen. How have you been able to manage your time with being a high-level student athlete, enrolled in numerous high school coaches, with a deep recruiting process? How have you been able to manage your time properly? Hello? Hello, Waden, you there?
Yo.
Yo. Were you able to hear my
Yo.
question about like how were you able to manage all aspects of your life?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bet.
So, how have you been able to manage a vigorous school schedule, recruiting cycle, and being a high-level future Division I athlete?
Oh, yeah, I definitely just try to do everything on time. Whenever I get schoolwork, I make sure to do it like right when I do it because I know I gotta have football practice, and I also gotta talk to college coaches like every other day. So I gotta make sure that I got time for every single thing I do and just don't procrastinate. Make sure I do everything on time.
And so, one of the core values of Waden Charles is family. I know you and your mom are very close. How has she helped you guide you throughout life?
Yeah, my mom, she's definitely played a big role in my life. You know what I'm saying? She's been there for me every step of the way. She comes to every single one of my games. You know what I'm saying? She's my number one and my biggest supporter. And she just keeps me going every single day. Just going out there on that field. I just make sure I think about my mom every single time. Because that's what helped me keep going while I'm out there on the field. So I owe all of the stuff that I have to my mom.
And so, when in the very minimal free time that you have, when you're not doing anything football related, what are some hobbies that you enjoy doing that nobody would really know?
Yeah, in my free time, I just I don't know, I just chill with my friends, you know what I'm saying? I go hang out. We do a lot of things, whatever we feel like doing, we might just do it. But sometimes we be golfing, sometimes we just be playing the game. Sometimes we'll go out to we go bowling, Japanese park or something. But yeah, that's really it.
So now, would you say that you're a better golfer or a better bowler?
Yeah, I'll say I'm better at golf. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like that at golf. I'm just like Tiger Woods. I ain't gonna lie.
You're not Tiger Wish he could Keon Coleman. You're legit.
Nah. I'm legit.
All right. So this is a big senior class at Palm Beach Central. What has been the collective statements throughout the locker room from senior leadership?
Yeah, definitely just knowing that this is our last ride. And this is one of the last chances for a long time, probably at Palm Beach, that a school could definitely take it all the way. So that's really been our motivation. That's really what we've been talking about in the locker room, outside of school. We know that we have such a great team. We have so much talent. So we just really got to put the pieces together and just have everybody on the same mindset because all of us, as upperclassmen, we all have the same mindset. We know we won at the end of the day, but we got to install that into the whole team. So that's really what it's been in the locker room, just making sure everybody being more disciplined and just everybody have the same end goal.
So, like I said earlier, you are now part of senior leadership. What is the biggest piece of advice you can give a young player that wants to be a Palm Beach Central Bronco?
Yeah, definitely. Something I would give advice I would give to a young guy trying to be a Bronco on just coming ready to work, bro. Because we call it Central University for a reason. Because the coaches at Palm Beach Central, especially Coach Thompson, he just tried to make it as much of a college as possible to make you college ready. He tries to make everybody look the same, make everybody be on time, hold everybody accountable for everything they do. A coach ran by players and all of that. Just a team that you can have a second family on, you know what I'm saying? Outside of your real family, a team that you can spend time with, you know what I'm saying? Outside of football, you can call them for whatever. I let my teammates know that they can call me for whatever, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what it is. You need to go to the field, you need help with something, just one call away, you know what I'm saying? And they know that. And this standard that the coaches hold us to, they hold us to such a high standard. And all of us, we know the standard at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody on my team knows that, and then we all have the same mindset.
Waden, thank you so much for your time. I know we were barring a little bit of technical difficulties throughout that, but thank you for hopping on. Thank you for continuing to hop on. I do appreciate you for your time. I have no further questions.
So I appreciate you having me, my boy.
Yes, sir. Have a good rest of your night.
All right, you too.
That was Waden Charles, everyone. 4-star wide receiver from Palm Beach Central. Where do you think Waden's going to go? Like I said, he has 40 Division I FBS offers, with the majority of them being from Power 4, Power 5 conferences. Personally, I'm very excited to see what the remaining part of his recruitment process is going to be, because the ball's up in the air now, and the thing about Waden Charles is he catches jump balls. But do my three other distinguished co-hosts want to make a final appearance on screen tonight, or am I closing this one out? They're all looking at me. All right, they're coming back, everybody. Robbie, Drew, and Toby are back. You don't have to look at me anymore. But while I still got you guys, I'd just like to say I've been trying the Trey Carroll hair care routine, and it's been working, guys. Tea tree oil, baby. Shout out Trey Carroll. Toby, please get them back up. There we go. All right. How's it going, gentlemen?
That was a good interview, Christian. Great job working through the technological issues. Good stuff from Waden. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up, man. I love the local talent. I love following it. Once he goes pro, I might have to get the jersey. I'll have to get the DH Gate Palm Beach Central one to go with my Boynton Beach High Lamar Jackson, though.
Man, I got the Boynton Lamar jersey. I don't know what you're talking about. That one's mine.
He seems like a good kid, Christian. He seems like he's got his head in the right place. Good group of people around him, so I'm excited to see what he's got.
Yeah. Robbie's busting out the retired jersey collections. Dude, we could be matching one day. On the podcast next week, me and Robbie are wearing our Boynton Lamar jerseys. Stay tuned for that on Sunday.
Dude, back when that Vine was really popular, when he juked at that one kid, I did not know that was Lamar Jackson. I just thought that was some dog in high school.
And also the team that he absolutely juked out, that school doesn't exist anymore. Shout out Village Academy. That school is not in Palm Beach County anymore.
Bro,
They closed?
No way they closed.
Oh, they don't have a football team anymore. Ignore my stupidity, guys.
I couldn't. Dude, you got me scared.
Dude, shout out Village Academy. I would enroll.
I remember when I was in high school. Funny story about Village. They had a player. I don't remember his name, and I don't want to name drop him. Probably a good kid, but he was DMing our entire football team, trying to recruit them to Village.
Did it work or no?
No, because there was no NIL deals promised.
No one was. I mean, St. John Paul to Village is like it's not. It'd be like the weirdest transfer of all time.
That'd be like being a starter at like Ohio State and then going to USF. Like, that's just such a downgrade.
Yeah, man. Roll Eagles, baby. St. John Paul, Eags up.
Yeah, but my school 70-pieced y'all last year, so hold that out.
70-pieced us the year we played and when I played too.
George Burrell was playing back then.
No, George wasn't on the field.
Nah, George was a baseball player at Kings for a little bit, though.
Yeah. I hope he's
Our Palm Beach County collection, we're really grinding into these final 10 minutes of the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network tonight.
Guys, I want to ask, because Robbie's got my brain going now that he threw out the Lamar jersey. What is like the weirdest jersey that you guys have that's like still in your closet?
Drew, you got to take that one first, man. You got some crazy ones.
I know mine. Mine is my University of Wisconsin Alec Ingold jersey. It is so fire, though. I also got a Oregon Javon Holland jersey.
That one's tough.
It's black too. It's so fire. I love those two jerseys. I like to get college, and I just ordered a Cooper DeJean jersey from Iowa, so that's gonna be tough.
What about you, Toby? What you got?
I don't know. I've got a bunch, but I think my Seahawks DH Jake Bobo jersey's got to be it.
Shout out your
that's probably the most random one I've got. I've got like the yellow Heat Kyle Lowry jersey. What else? I got the old Marlin City Connect, the Luisa Rise. So that's a collector's now. Because
That one's fire.
So
We've seen that at a tailgate or two, Toby.
maybe 3.
Maybe 3, yeah.
Maybe 3.
Well,
No, it's a very common appearance of a jersey, but Robbie's got me beat for sure. I don't know if he's shown the FAU Mike Forrest jersey, but that's
my favorite.
That's
yeah,
just
the FAU Mike Forrest is unmatched, but is that a Derrick Rose jersey?
Yes, sir.
We got Derrick Rose, McDonald's All-American, and is that a Lower Marion Kobe?
Yeah, Lower Marion Kobe.
And
I gotta find my Mike Forrest jersey.
Dude, rip Kobe.
Yeah.
I got the vintage Kobe shirt on today, but I
Joe
think I got
Q got the best
everybody
jersey.
beat. I got everybody beat personally. I have the jersey of tight end GOAT. When you think of greatest tight ends, you could think Tony Gonzalez, you could think Travis Kelce, George Kittle. How about Tim Tebow? I've got a Jaguars Tim Tebow jersey for all of the week and a half that he was on the Jags training camp. So
that is pretty elite, I will say.
Yeah, read it and weep, gentlemen. I got a Giannis jersey. Somebody tried to troll me one time and said it was a Thanasis jersey, but
yeah, that would have been better.
I made sure it was 34, not 43.
Yeah, Christian, I think you just drank the Kool-Aid a little early when Tim Tebow was getting a little buzz at tight end, and then we saw that one clip of him just whiffing on a block, and then he got cut the next week.
Yeah, shout out Tim Tebow, because those that don't know, class of 22 Kings, my graduation, Tim Tebow was the commencement speaker. So that was awesome. I got a picture shaking Tim Tebow's hand as I was walking the stage. That was a pretty cool moment, especially because when I went to shake his hand, oh my God, he almost broke mine. Like that dude is an animal still. And he's wearing probably the tightest button down ever. It looked like one wrong move. It's like fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
Shout out Joe Q. I think Joe Q's got a tough jersey collection. My bad.
Vanilla. I'm tired, man. Villanova generic number 1 football jersey. That made me laugh.
That's funny.
The AI generated Villanova jersey. Gotta love it, Joe Q. We gotta get Joe Q on our show one time. That'd be fun.
Talk some horse racing. I don't know anything about horse racing. The only thing I know is what I hear him and AJ talk about on Sundays.
I bet horse
racing. I got y'all. Horse racing is the Amish NASCAR.
I guess that's one way to put it.
Yep. It is Amish NASCAR.
Take.
I would be scared that somebody would get mad, but they are not watching this.
I just got news.
6 people, so
I'll be in the building for game 1.
For what, Robbie?
Panthers game 1. We'll have Bleacher Brothers coverage from the stands. We'll be there. I'll be trying. I'll be trying to get us some elite coverage. I don't know how much I can do from the stands. That's what they used to do back in the day before they got us on board, though. The coverage from the stands.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a big shout out to Robbie for not inviting me, by the way.
The tickets were not 2 for 1, unfortunately, Christian. The Panthers are not in need of the donation for blood 2 for 1 anymore.
I would have brought you, but that's cool. I would have brought all 4 of us. That would have been fun. We all need to go, and we need to go to a pro sports game. Let's all go to a Marlins game. For $10, the 4 of us can have good seats.
I thought you said a pro sports game. And then you said
honestly, I think the Jupiter Hammerheads might have a better turnout than the Marlins. But, yeah, last I checked on MLB Tonight, the Marlins were losing earlier. I got kind of carried away with the Waden interview. Haven't really been watching the Marlin game. But
you got to be better than that, Christian. Marlins lost to the Rays tonight.
I was about to say nobody watches the Marlins game. You can't get much better.
5-3.
That's a shame. But yeah, for $10, we can all go to a Marlins game, and then we could steal a bunch of bobbleheads.
Nah, I'm good. I don't want to go down to Miami and deal with that traffic. No parking, no thanks. But hey, it's been a fun one tonight here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. Christian with our South Florida Spotlight of the Week, Waden Charles. We'll be back next week with a week full of shows. Somehow I'm like, it's just my eye here. Y'all boys. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Bleacher Brothers show tonight. We'll be back again next week. Thank you for tuning in.